You know what the real problem with BJP is? It is not that they want our vote. Every party wants that. It is that they want our mind's motherboard, our brain's operating system. They don't just want to rule Delhi. They want to install themselves inside our head. You see, earlier governments ruled territories. This one wants to rule thoughts. This one wants to reprogram our conscience with its very own Sanskari software. It has already designed the perfect patriot. He salutes the government before he salutes the flag. He worships the leader more than the constitution. He loves his country so much, he hates half of it. He doesn't need facts, he has faith. He doesn't ask questions, he forwards RT type. You know, after graduation from WhatsApp University, students are now enrolling in Arattai Mahavidyalaya for the post-graduation in digital devotion. The line between patriot and parrot is getting thinner day by day. The parrots don't even know they are parrots. The parrots actually think they are eagles, guardians of the nation, protectors of dharma, defenders of truth, when all they are doing is repeating what the zookeeper teaches them. You see, earlier governments wanted our trust. This one wants our trance, where following orders feels like faith, where questioning government feels like sin.
इतने अच्छे कॉलेज में पढ़ते हैं, सरकार जैसा कहेगी वैसा मान लेंगे, अपने विवेक का इस्तेमाल नहीं करेंगे।
तो पढ़ा लिखा होने का मतलब ये बिल्कुल भी नहीं कि हम अपना दिमाग का इस्तेमाल करना चाहिए। सरकार के विरुद्ध दिमाग का इस्तेमाल नहीं करना चाहिए।
Slowly and quietly, this one is teaching a billion people that love for one man is the same as love for the nation.
हमको मोदी चाहिए। मोदी हमारा पति, हमारा भाई, हमारा बाप, हमारा गुरु है। हम उनके ऊपर दिल दे बैठे हैं।
मोदी जी, I love you. I love you. I want you. I love you, मोदी जी।
मोदी, I love you too.
Every government wants to shape the country, but this one wants to shape us. Our beliefs, our habits, our history, our heroes. This one sneaks into our universities not to promote science, but to replace it with superstition. Through ministers claiming Hanuman was the first astronaut, plastic surgery existed in the Vedas, internet was invented in Mahabharata, Pushpak Viman was outgoing. You see, the strategy is simple. When you control what people learn, you control what they believe. Earlier governments wanted our support. This one wants our surrender. Believe what we believe, or you don't belong here. The moment you control faith, you control fear. And the moment you control fear, you control people. That's the trick. That's the game. That's the genius of this regime. They don't just want our vote. They want our mind. They don't just want majority. They want monopoly on our festivals, on our films, on our food, on our freedom, on our faith. See, I'm not against religion. In fact, I believe religion is necessary to keep people grounded, to give them values, to remind them that there is something greater than ego. But the problem is imposition. Let me say this loud and clear to all my brothers and sisters across religions, Hindu, Muslim, Christian, Sikh, Jain, whoever you are. Yes, follow your faith. Yes, believe in your holy books. Yes, Hanuman carried a mountain on his shoulder. Yes, Prophet Muhammad split the moon with his fingers. Yes, Jesus brought the dead back to life. You have every right to hold those beliefs with pride and love. But please, don't bring that into classrooms. There are temples, mosques, churches, Gurudwaras, ashrams, madrasas built for faith, for worship, for devotion. You can tell your children stories of faith at home. That's your right. That's your belief. But don't turn a physics class into a religious sermon. Faith is personal, education is universal. A nation only grows when both are kept where they belong. Even the deities look tired, dragged from scriptures into stickers, from sanctums to slogans. Hanuman is trending for muscle, not meaning. Krishna is quoted for war, not wisdom. Ram, once the face of Maryada, is now a mascot for might. And Shiva, the destroyer of ego, is now worshipped by those drowning in it. You see, religion was never the problem. Politics wearing religion is. Because when politics wears the mask of religion, it stops serving God and starts using Him. You see, the danger isn't that gods are entering politics. It is that politicians are entering godhood.
हमारा मोदी भगवान है और अमित शाह भगवान है और मोदी राम और अमित शाह कृष्ण।
श्री अर्नब पत्रकार भगवान नारद है, श्री योगी जी हनुमान जी हैं और अमित शाह जी वही भगवान शेषनाग हैं, भगवान लक्ष्मण हैं।
हर हर मोदी, हर हर मोदी, हर हर मोदी।
मोदी भगवान है, श्री राम है मोदी।
दूसरा राम अवतार है। कौन? मोदी।
लिविंग गॉड है वो, लिविंग गॉड।
कौन? मोदी।
कभी कभी लगता है कि आप उन्हीं भगवान हैं।
Brothers and sisters, it is funny, yes. We can laugh at this circus, but remember, when one man becomes bigger than the nation, then the nation becomes smaller every single day. When citizens surrender their brains, ruler never return them. So laugh at the memes, laugh at the WhatsApp graduates, but don't forget, blind devotion isn't comedy. It's a slow poison. The price of blind faith is always paid by those who can still sin. When a ruler convinces people that he is the nation, then every critic becomes anti-national. Every question becomes conspiracy. Every protest becomes terrorism. And slowly, citizens forget they are the masters. Leaders forget they are the servants. And the nation forgets that power is supposed to change hands, not become so-called God's property. This is not devotion, this is surrender. This is not faith, this is slavery. And once slavery looks like patriotism, the chains don't even feel heavy, they feel sacred, they feel holy. And once the chains begin to feel holy, they no longer need to shackle your hands, they shackle your heart. And from there, they march straight into your religion. Suddenly, being a good Hindu means hating minorities. Being a good patriot means worshipping a politician. Protecting God becomes more important than practicing. They didn't just hijack Ram, Krishna, and Hanuman. They have rebranded them. They have turned devotion into division and bhakti into business. And sadly, it is working. Because they have understood one thing better than anyone. You don't need to feed the hungry if you can feed them hate. They have discovered that hate is more addictive than hope. That fear keeps the crowd together longer than love ever did. You don't need to answer questions if you can give them enemies. The new India doesn't ask, how are we doing today? It asks, who are we against today? China.
Suddenness, the sheer suddenness of the move, the unexpected nature of the move, the unpredictability of the move. Now the Chinese will know.
Few years later.
Taliban.
Good Taliban, bad Taliban. Good terrorism, bad terrorism.
ये अब चलने वाला नहीं।
A few years later.
दुश्मन का दुश्मन हमारा दोस्त। भारत अफगान भाई भाई ये हमारी सोच है।
अरे साला अलगे फ्रॉड चल रहा है।
टर्की, मालदीव्स, ट्रूडो, ट्रंप, साला पाकिस्तान तो है ही। Always permanently pinned to the headboard. Someday it is Amir Khan's handshake. Next day it is Deepika Padukone's chaddi.
भगवा कपड़े पहनकर दीपिका पादुकोण ने जिस प्रकार से अश्लील कपड़े पहने, भगवा रंग हमारा आराध्य रंग है, हम उसको प्रणाम करते हैं, हमारे साधु संतों का रंग है।
Meanwhile.
ये सब क्या देखना पड़ रहा है? अच्छा है मैं अंधा हूँ।
Then it is Kareena Kapoor's son's name, Taimur.
इतने नाम पड़े हैं यार, कुछ भी रख लेते तुम। रिजवान रख लेते, उस्मान रख लेते, यूनुस रख लेते, तुम्हें एक ही नाम मिला।
Someday it is Priya Chakrabarti.
तो ये गंजड़ी है, ये चड़सी है,
हम सब लड़के
ये ड्रगी है। प्रिया चक्रवर्ती बोलती है ड्रग दो, ड्रग दो, ड्रग दो, ड्रग दो, ड्रग दो, मुझे ड्रग दो, मुझे ड्रग्स दो। वो कहती है मुझे ड्रग दो, मेरे लिए गांजा लाओ, चरस लाओ, MDMA लाओ, एक्सक्यूसी लाओ।
One week it is beef, next week it is biryani, then it is SRK's son's party, then it is the Taj Mahal, built by invaders, not lovers. Then it is a school textbook, remove Mughals, add mythology. They need an enemy to keep their nation hypnotized, to keep the crowd energized, to keep the news monetized, and to keep their failures sanitized. An outrage a day keeps accountability away. You see, outrage is oxygen for this ecosystem. Without it, fire dies. So they keep finding new sparks, something to ban, someone to hate, someone to blame, new slogans to scream. Every week a fresh enemy, every month a new moral war. Because if you keep the people busy fighting each other, they'll never notice who is picking their pockets in daylight. While we are busy fighting over beef and biryani, they are eating the country piece by piece. While we argue over temples and mosques, they are selling the forests and the mines. While we trend boycott Deepika Padukone for her saffron chaddi, they quietly boycott accountability. You see, our outrage is the smoke screen and our hate is the currency. They keep us addicted to anger because an angry nation doesn't think. It doesn't read manifestos. It doesn't vote with logic. It votes with vengeance. You will forgive unemployment if you are employed in outrage. You will ignore hunger if your stomach is full of hate. You will stay poor as long as someone else stays the enemy. And that is the magic trick. The talk of Amrit Kal while feeding poison drop by drop through every news channel. You see, hate is the easiest way to feel holy, and fear is the fastest way to feel loyal. So they feed you both hate for others and fear of being the other, and you swallow it thinking it is patriotism. You see, this is not just a political project, it is a psychological one. So my brothers and sisters, hold on to your mind, guard your conscience. Don't let anyone install their sanskari software inside your soul. Because nations recover from bad governments, but not from brainwashed generations. It is okay to love your faith. It is okay to love your country. But the moment someone tells you that loving one requires hating other, walk away. Because that is not love, that is control. The war today is not for land of borders. It is for the motherboard, your mind. And if they conquer that, then they won't need an army anymore, because the soldiers will live inside you, marching, saluting, obeying without even knowing he's been programmed.
व्हाट्सएप पे सोशल में सबसे बड़ा काम होता है सोशल मीडिया फेसबुक इंस्टाग्राम ट्विटर सब कुछ मिलता है।
ये तो मोदी जी का बहुत बड़ा योगदान है।
वाह मोदी जी वाह, वाह मोदी जी वाह, वाह मोदी जी वाह।
मत भूलो कि भक्ति और पागलपन में अधिक अंतर नहीं होता। सांसारिक दृष्टि से देखो तो भक्त पागल ही जैसा दिखाई देता है,